CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to do a mermaid border. This was a difficult pattern to create, but I am excited that I got it done. So what you're going to need materials wise for this is I used a 4.25 millimeter hook. Now remember, you can use any size hook you want to. Just understand that it may change how your outcome is with your Little Mermaid border. So just think about that. I used 3 different colors. I used this Bernat baby blanket yarn for the body part, and I doubled it for the body to give it more stability. But for the face, I did it in 1 strand. So for the body is doubled, and for the face is just 1 strand of this. Then I used this was part of an ombré peach colored red heart yarn. And then I used, and I love this yarn, in the color Glacier. So that's this right here. So all that will be in the description box below. You will need a pair of scissors and a darning needle for the end of your project, but not necessarily for this little swatch that we're doing. Okay, and this is done in multiples of, let's just count these out just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is in multiples of 15, okay? And as you can see, it even has a little 3D effect because right here, it kind of gives a little bit, makes it looks like it's almost swimming. So yeah, this took a while to create, but at any rate, let's get out our little swatch and let's get started on the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to start off with our Glacier color, and we're going to pull it right into this first stitch. So whatever you're working on, you know, whatever blanket or anything you plan to use this on, just remember it is multiples of 15. And remember that you might have to switch things up and do things for your blanket for this, okay? So we've brought in our yarn, and then we're going to go right back into that same stitch where we brought the yarn and do a single crochet just to anchor it there. And then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to go into the second stitch from the hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Then we're going to go into the next stitch and do a single crochet. Then we're going to go into the next stitch and do a half double crochet and a double crochet in that same stitch. And then we're going to go back down to where we single crocheted in the beginning, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So that's what that looks like. Then we're going to repeat that. We're going to chain 4 again. Then we're going to go into the second stitch from the hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Then we're going to go into the next stitch and do a single crochet. And then in the next one, we're going to do a half double crochet. And then in that same stitch that we did the half double crochet, we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch right back where we slip stitched for the other part of the tail. So just like that. And now you've completed your tail for the mermaid. So now we're going to do the rest of the tail here. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip 2, 1 and 2, and in the third stitch you're going to put a single crochet. Then you're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch you're going to put a single crochet, just like that. Then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to turn your work. After you turn your work, you're going to be working 3 more treble crochets. So wrap your hook, your yarn around your hook twice, and do 3 treble crochets into this chain of 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to work a double crochet into the same space. And then you're going to work a half double crochet all into the same space. And then in your next part of your chain of 3, you're going to do a half double crochet. And then you're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to slip stitch right where we slip stitched for our tail. So go right in where we did our tail and do a slip stitch, just like that. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And that's what it looks like so far. And now we're going to do single crochets all the way back up this tail. So we're going to go right into this first stitch and put a single crochet. The next, single crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So you've got 9 single crochets across, and then you have this chain of 4 right here. So what I want to do is I want to go into this chain of 4 and pull up like I'm going to do a single crochet. But now I'm going to add my skin tone color. So I'm going to pull this in just like that and finish off that single crochet. Then I'm going to turn my yarn over, my work over rather, and I'm going to do a little tie here just to make sure this doesn't come undone. We'll have to work that in later, okay? So now we have our another color in, and now we can start working on the body. So I'm simply just going to cut off this green now. And now we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to put 3 double crochets into this spot. So okay, we've turned our work, and now we're working around this first chain of 4 that we did, okay? So we're going this way now. So here's our first double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and actually we're going to do 1 more. So technically it would be a total of 5. Counting our first chain of 3 here, okay? Now this right here is actually going to be an arm, because as you can see, it juts out there and goes away from the body, and so that turns out perfect as an arm. Now what you're going to do is you're going to anchor this, so you're going to skip 2, 1 and 2, and into the 3rd stitch you're going to put a double crochet. Just like that. Then you're going to turn your work. You're not going to chain 1 or anything, but you're going to work back across here. So you're going to work back across the top, and you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 single crochets, okay? Then you're going to chain 1, turn your work again, and now you're going to skip this first stitch, go into the second, and put 1 single crochet, and go into the next and put 1 single crochet. Then you're going to skip this stitch, and you're going to put a slip stitch around this right here, just like that. And then you're going to put another slip stitch here, which can be kind of hard to do because you're working from one slip stitch to the other, just like that. And then you're going to slip stitch right here into this bottom here. So now we've got one arm, we're working on the other arm here, we've got the tail and the fin and the body. And now you're going to single crochet 4 across. 1, 2, 3, and 4. and then one more. So technically 5. Okay? So we've got one arm here that's going in the back. We have one arm here that leads you into your next piece of work. And then we have our tail. So now what we need to do is we need to work on our head. And this is not as hard as it seems like it would be, okay? So now I'm going to cut off this color right here, this pink, because I'm going to use it to make my head, okay? So what you're going to do, I'm going to pull this out so it doesn't come undone. I'm going to move this away. And now what you're going to do, and this is a separate piece for this pattern, okay? So if you wanted to just do the tail for your pattern, you absolutely can, but I wanted to show you how to do the head and the hair for it as well. So you make a magic circle. And in this magic circle, you're going to put 6 single crochets. And remember, this is not doubled now, it's just single yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 single crochets. Then you're going to tighten your magic circle. And then you're going to make sure you've got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to go into your first single crochet here. And you're going to put 2 working in the round. You're going to put 2 single crochets in this first stitch. And you're going to put 2 single crochets all the way around in each stitch to make a count of 12. So there was 2. There's 3. And 4. 5 and 6. 7 and 8, 9 and 10, and 11 and 12. Okay? And then you're simply going to slip stitch to your first stitch. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you're going to go right here into this first stitch and do a slip stitch. And then you're done with the actual head, okay? So now I want you to leave a long piece on the end because we're going to use this part to sew on. So leave a pretty long piece and then just pull through and tie off, okay? And now I'm going to go ahead and work this in the back so we don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my darning needle. I'm going to work this in 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And then we can cut off. And now we're going to add our hair, and I'm using this peachy color here that I showed you before. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count from where I have my long piece here hanging down. I'm going to count from there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in the 4th chain up, I'm going to bring in my peach colored yarn into that space right there. And I want to leave kind of a long piece here because I'm going to use this to sew a little bit of our hair on, okay? So leave a long piece there at the end, pull in your yarn, and then I want you to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then in the second chain from the hook, I want you to put 2 single crochets. And I want you to put 2 single crochets all the way down. Now putting 2 single crochets in each stitch is what's going to give this its curly look. Because instead of just doing 1, which would leave a straight line, we're doing 2, which of course makes it look ripply. If you wanted to make it even more so, you could put more than 2 single crochets in each stitch. Okay, so now we're back here to where we brought in our color, and now we're going to do single crochets along the top. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in our next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next, and in the next, and in the next, and in the next, and then 1 more. So that made for 6 single crochets. Okay, just like that. So it's kind of like, here's the bangs, and then the hair goes over to the side, and then the head will sit like this. So we're going to go ahead and cut this off here. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and work in my pieces that I don't need. So I need this one and I need this one, okay? Because we're going to use those to sew the head on, and this one is the only one I need to work in. So I'm going to go ahead and work this one in. Okay, I just did that twice, but normally you would definitely want to do it 3 times. But for the sake of the video, I just did it that. Okay, and so now we're going to put this on our darning needle, and we're going to use this piece to sew it on to our tail. So we're going to put that on our darning needle. And then we're going to bring out our tail here. Okay, uh-oh, it came undone. Okay, so then you're going to turn your mermaid over here, and you're going to line this up exactly how you want it to be. Now, you might need to use a stick pin for this if you want it to be perfect. Trying to see if I have anything. I have this right here I could use. So I want this just like this. So I'm just going to place that there to hold it in place. And then I'm going to turn it over. Okay. And then I'm going to use this to sew this on in the back. And I'm just going to go in and out, sewing this head into place right here on the body. Just like that. And I'm going to turn it over and make sure it looks the way I want it to. And take this out now. Okay. So that looks pretty good. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to turn this back over, and I'm going to work this piece in and out 3 times. Well, we're going to do it once. You do it 3 times. Okay. And so now all I'm going to do now is for the hair, and that has a little piece hanging. I hate that. But for right now, what we're going to do is, I like for the hair to not be crazy like this, but you could leave your hair like this. You could even pull it all the way down and put like a little stitch right here to hold it together if you wanted to. You can make your hair longer. I mean, you can make it your own, but I like it to come all the way up here and just land right on her shoulder so it frames the face. So I'm going to take this piece that I had right here, and I'm going to put it onto my darning needle. I'm going to work it through the hair in the back till I get to the bottom where I want to sew it on. So I'm just working it through the back till I get to the bottom. And then when I get to the bottom, working that in like that will also pull it together a little bit. So then I'm just going to place this right here on this shoulder right there. And like I said, you could actually, let's just try and see, because someone had mentioned this in one of the comments in a crochet group I put it on. We could try it down here by the arm. Let's just see what it looks like. We'll go right here by the end of this arm, and we'll just go straight through the hair. And remember, you can do this anywhere on the mermaid as you wish. Okay. So I think that looks good. And then I'm going to go in again, and then I'll work this back into the hair. Again, we're just trying to make sure that none of this comes undone. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you can cut off. And now we've put our hair on, just like that. And so now all we have to do is the eyes. And all I did was I used a dark color and put the eyes there. Let me see if I can show you on this one. It's just 2 little dots, you know, right there and right there. Super easy stuff. But I don't have a dark color, so I'm just going to show you how to do it with my pink, which is going to kind of make it look crazy because it's going to have pink eyes. But that's okay, because I just want to show you. So all you're going to do is you're just going to pick a place where you want your eye to be. So I'm going to come in right over here. I'm going to leave enough yarn in the back to work in. And then I'm just going to go a little bit over and take my needle back through to make an eye. And then I'm going to go over here to the similar spot, and I'm going to go in and out over here as well. And there you've got 2 eyes. Now you don't have to put eyes on if you don't want to. They definitely need to be darker because now it looks like a spooky mermaid. But that's just how you do it. And then you tie them off in the back, and then you're going to take this color because it's color of the hair, and then you're going to work it in through the hair just like I already showed you how to work it in. And then you're all done, and that's how you do your mermaid. It's not hard at all, guys. It looks like it would be really hard, but it's not. And then from here you would just bring in your green colored yarn. So what I would do, I would be starting my other mermaids. I would simply undo this last one that I did, and then I would put my hook through like I was doing gonna bring through to do a single crochet. So I pull that through, tie that in the back just like that. And then I would start on my tails, just like I started down here. So if you need to, please rewind the video, go back and start over again. But it's just the exact same way all the way around for your border. I would suggest for your corners for your border to just keep going and doing your count just the way you should, and the mermaids will just go right around the blanket. Okay, but now this is a in-depth border, so it's a big border. It has a lot of components to it, so there are pieces that you're going to have to work in the back. And as you can see, we had to add the head. So, you know, this is a labor of love, but how beautiful it is. And if you have a child who loves the Little Mermaid or mermaids in general, or even an adult who loves mermaids, it would be absolutely lovely. Just remember that when you're working with things like this, they can be choking hazards for little children or toddlers. Make sure that you work in all of your ends very well. Keep in mind the hair, there's a loop here, toes, fingers can get through. Just keep all those things in mind when you're making gifts for the little ones, and that includes anything. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit that red bell below and subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, and please share it as well. That helps more than anything to your crochet groups, to your friends. That really gets the videos out so that people can see them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Happy crocheting. Bye bye.